I've got refugees.
I've got refugees.
I have refugees.
I've got refugees.
And I've got refugees. Have you?
Who do you think refugees are?
I'm Yasmin Kadi, and I'm a refugee from Sierra Leone West Africa. When I was 13, the Blood Diamond Civil War happened, and my family and I were attacked at 3 in the morning by 3 truckload of soldiers, rebels. They smashed the doors in with their guns and ammunition, came into the house, took my dad outside to the veranda, near enough beat him to death. Then he was taken away for 2 weeks. He suffered from epilepsy and being dragged away without his medication, we presumed him dead. My family were very kind to the locals, and therefore we somehow managed to get help and got my dad back. My parents sold what they could and we fled to the UK. In the UK, we ended up homeless for 9 months. We were put in a hostel, and it was very difficult to settle in initially. I was seen as the refugee Blood Diamond girl who swung from trees like a monkey. I trained very hard, and eventually I got a scholarship to the same stage school as Julie Andrews. Studied in musical theatre. For years I toured around in musicals like Fame, Daddy Cool, but I had this itch to talk about what happened back home, to sing and write about what happened to myself, my family, and thousands of people in Sierra Leone who suffered 10 years after the Civil War initially happened.
Hi, I'm Rita, and when I was 1, my family and I fled my birthplace, Kosovo, Pristina. There was a war breaking out, and my family felt it was safe to move to the UK. Now, my mother's a psychiatrist and she works for the NHS. I have a business and my dad has a business. I'm a refugee. I have refugees. Have you?
I'm Jamie Cullum, and like many people, I have a complicated family history. On my mother's side, my mother's father, he was Indian, but he was an orphan and was brought to Burma and brought up there with his 15 brothers and sisters by Franciscan monks. He met my grandmother, and they had my mother and my uncle, and in the 1950s, when Japan invaded, they had to flee Burma and they came over to the UK. On my father's side, his mother was Prussian and she was Jewish, and at the outset of World War II and the Nazi invasion, she had to flee, and a long, complicated journey brought her to Jerusalem, where she found safe haven and met my grandfather, and that's where my father was born. I am the product of refugees who found safe haven, and it's really an incredible story which I've had to find out along the way, because what I've found is that the generations above don't always want to talk about it and fill you in on all the details, because it was too hard for them, I think. Anyway, it's an incredible story and I'm very proud of it. So they were refugees, and I've got refugees. Have you?